Hey guys, welcome to the Model Citizen Podcast. We're your hosts, Hunter and Michaela. We are so excited to have you here. All right, let's dive in.
Hello, everyone.
Good morning, good afternoon, good day.
Good day. Good day, mate.
Say.
How are you doing? How are you doing today?
Dude, I'm doing good. I need the listeners' help, though.
Okay.
I'm enlisting their help.
Okay.
I need you guys to coax Michaela into moving across the street from me. There's a house that is for sale that is directly across the street from me, and I just think that you should do it for a bit. For a
Right.
bit.
For fun, for joke.
Like, do it for the bit.
giggle.
Like, do it as like a gag.
Right.
Like, how
like
fun.
It would be so fun and just like a funny gag for me to get like a loan for a house. You know? The funniest thing would be the process of me. The funniest thing would be the moment that I walk into the loan office and the guy looks at me and he looks at my outstanding student debt and he looks at my credit score and just laughs. And he laughs and he laughs and he laughs.
Dude, that's what's so funny about it. And you could just tell him, like, don't you wish you could literally just get things and be like, here's the thing, I'm doing this as a bit. So,
right. Like this isn't
if you
serious.
could just be like, Jordan, you like comedy, right? Okay,
right.
let's go along with a bit. Okay?
Right. Like you're ruining.
Give me the loan.
Yeah. Give me the loan so I can keep this up, this ruse. Would you not like comedy and funny things? Do you not want to be a part of this? Come on. I know you do.
Absolutely.
I know you guys don't get a lot of jokesters up in here.
No. And I think that
up in Merrill Lynch or whatever.
Dude, Merrill Lynch. Right? God. Talked about her so much back in the day.
Old Merrill Lynch, dude. Can I talk about something really funny and low-key?
Yeah.
Like, this is so random, but I feel like every episode I mention a TikTok, but I've been loving the TikToks. And I don't know if you sent me this one where kids are like asking their very East Coast New Yorker dads if they know who Mike Wazowski.
Yes.
If they know Mike Wazowski. And it's so funny because the dads are like, yeah, I know Mike Wazowski. I know a lot of Mike Wazowskis actually.
Yeah.
Like I grew up on, did
he die?
Yeah, why did he die?
Yeah, and then they'll be like, he was friends with Sully, and then they'll be like, oh, Sully, yeah, Sullivan, Mike Sullivan. And it's just so funny how absolutely every East Coast dad knows, like, or thinks he knows a Mike Wazowski and a Sully.
Yeah.
I want to try that on our dad. Our dad would be like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I know. I think it's the best thing ever. And if you as our listeners, if you guys have a dad from the East Coast, I'm going to try this on Martin's dad this weekend. I'm going to be like, do you remember Mike Sully?
Yeah, you should say, oh my God, Bob, I had someone message me and he said he went to high school with you or something. I can't even remember. I have to go back and look. His name was Mike Wazowski. Do you remember him? And the thing is this only works on East Coast dads who have friends who are in the mafia.
Right, exactly. Because Wazowski's just like such a East Coast name, you know, like it's just Wazowski and like Sully, and it's very just like Italian mafia. The other thing is that Martin's dad was a fire chief, and if there wasn't one guy when he was working in the DC fire department that's name wasn't Mike Wazowski or Sully, like I will literally cry. There's no way. That's impossible that didn't happen.
That's the thing, is that there for sure is a Mike Wazowski out there.
Yes. There's no way that there's not is all I have to say.
And he definitely is a one-eyed little gremlin monster. Can we also talk about how Michaela and I were talking recently, because Michaela's husband is in IT. Like he works at like the top. Like he's not like just an IT guy. He like runs big, huge businesses, IT, right?
Yeah.
But we were talking about how it's so funny how it's like how therapists like can't diagnose themselves, or you know, a psychic can't read themselves. This is Michaela's husband to her, and this is my husband to me. My husband, I'll be like, can you give me, you know, can you do some kind of graphic design for me? And he's like,
like a logo.
I don't
you put a logo.
Yes.
Can't do it.
Yeah, literally like can't even. But
Tell me why my husband is like an IT absolute wonderkind, and still I was having shitty Wi-Fi in my second story. Like, tell me how it's possible. My husband has worked for literally the most famous family
people
in the world.
Yeah.
Who asked for the most insane things to happen with their like network and security, and he was like on it, and he made everything happen. Like, he pulled shit out of his ass just so that like could make them happy. Tell me why I couldn't get internet on my second floor.
Tell me why Michaela was absolutely lagging up until like yesterday.
Right, when we finally decided to upgrade. It's just, yeah, it's one of those things. It's like what we were saying. It's kind of like how chefs, when they come home from work, like they don't want to cook a full meal. They're going to have like cheese and crackers.
It's so funny because I actually have a girlfriend who is a chef, and she will not cook. She's like, I order out all the time because she's like, I do this every day, all day anyways. Why would I then want to come home and do it more? Like, I'm exhausted. So it is very funny. But yeah, dude, welcome to the right
You're like, welcome to 2024. I also was thinking about how like if you're an influencer or somebody who like posts on socials, let's say you're like fashion influencer, you will most likely find that person when they're not shooting content in leggings and a t-shirt. Like, that is just like, there's just something about it, dude. There's something about it.
There's a girl that I follow. Her name is like Cara Jewel or something. And she did a TikTok on this. She was like, a lot of people think that, oh, I have this great like everyday fashion sense, but actually I go and I batch. So like I'll have a photographer come and I'll take like 4 or 5 outfits with me. We'll go to like different spots all around LA. And we'll just batch it. She's like, other than that, I'm not like in these clothes every day. Like, if you see me out at coffee, that was taken like weeks ago. And I think that that's so important to have that transparency with people, because it's like, we automatically look at social media and we're like, oh my God, it's like, does she ever have a day where she's not put together? And I know you guys are thinking about this about me, and I understand, like, you guys look at me and you're like, how does she have it together? How is she always like killing it with her outfits? How is she just doing things, right? And I understand. I'm here to tell you, like, it's not always like that. Like, sometimes I'm in sweats.
Right. Like, you think Hunter presents herself as this together glamazon mother, who just is just dressed to the nines. Listen, absolutely not wearing the same crew neck every day for 6 days straight.
When I cut, do I not bleed? Okay, like, that's the thing, is I'm just like you.
You just want to be relatable. Do you remember when Rachel Hollis she came out and she was like, I don't want to be relatable. Maya Angelou, was she relatable? Dude, I think about that I think about that so often for some reason. Like, that to me, just like, what a misfire. Like, what an absolute misfire.
That was just absolutely like that takes the wind from beneath your wings. Like, you're cruising, you're flying. You're like, hell yeah, Rachel Hollis. Like, you're doing it well. And then it just absolutely takes the wind beneath your wings. Like, unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Right. Just an absolute dagger to the soul, because it was like, it was a tough watch. All right.
Completely.
It was an absolutely
I have a
tough
question.
watch.
Are you watching Vanderpump Rules?
I am, yeah.
And
we're completely
updated?
caught up. Mm-hmm. Yep. And The Valley, which I have a very controversial take.
Do you like it? Okay, can I tell you why you like it? And here's why I think that you like it. Because The Valley is very much so what Vanderpump was in like 2009. Like, The Valley has like a cut budget, I feel like. And so it's very much like, you're just seeing these people for what they are. There's like no glamorous cuts. It's very much just like raw for the most part. And I think that's probably why you like it. I have to watch more of it.
Correct. You're 100% correct. I did not think I was going to like it going into it. Now, I will say, the intro, they have to change the intro.
The intro was like $5, the budget? Like, I need.
I'm like, did you guys go to Party City, get a get an 8 for $6 balloon pack and like that was the center of your intro. Like it doesn't make any sense. Everyone's out here in like their ball and like their prom dresses. You know what I mean? Like it was just
Kayla, I need you to be the stylist. Like
I
need you to
I need it.
absolutely you sitting there in a black tank. Like I need you to be the
Do
stylist.
I not? If you cut me, do I not believe?
Do you not believe? No, literally, like I love when people are like, "No, you need to take over," and then you look at the person, there's just absolutely a black
Just
tank.
like
no, but like seriously, like I need to understand what's going on over there. Not only the Valley, just the whole franchise.
The whole franchise, and but then I will say like there is that like rawness that I feel like all reality TV is missing.
Yes,
right now in the Valley because like they just are not going to pour money into it until they know that it's like a real hit.
Yeah,
and so and I mean you can't bank all on Jax and Brittany. I mean like they're literally separated right now. It's like who knows if they're going to even be together. But the rawness, and I do. Here's the thing is like I kind of vacillate between okay, when parents are with their babies, I vacillate between you being so for real and honest about everything you're going through and also leaving just a tad bit of mystery about it so that those of us who don't have children are not terrified within an inch of our life to have
What are
them.
you
Because,
talking about?
well, I just mean
What
like,
episode?
you know, what the most recent one, the girl who's the beauty queen,
Yeah,
she was talking about postpartum depression and she's like crying all the time and she's like, I don't feel like myself in my body. And like I think if you're a mom you can relate to that, obviously, and that is like a huge part of it. But if you're not a mom, you're like, oh man, I don't want that. Like I don't want to be sad for like years and like not want to be with my baby because I'm so sad and like I don't want to hate my body. Like there's just like that's what I mean is like when you're somebody who's like so like do I have a kid, do I not have a kid, and then you see that kind of stuff, that's the stuff that makes you be like, oh no,
yeah,
like what if that happens to me and then I'm sad for 5 years, you know, like I'm suicidal.
No, completely. And that is such a real thing. But I think that also it's like it's such a double-edged sword because obviously hearing about it is rough, but also hearing about it is like, okay, then if you do have a baby, you go into it being like, there's signs I'm going to look for. And there's also so much you can do to get help for that, you know?
True. Yeah, that is true. And also I think if you're a mom, I can only imagine it's like nice to see that representation of like,
I didn't deal with it, but I have friends who have majorly dealt with like postpartum depression and stuff. But it's definitely for real.
And the fights going on between the couples are like so refreshing to see because you just don't, especially with like Housewives. The Housewives franchise, they keep it tight-lipped. They don't have like real raw arguments.
Right.
That's what I feel like is so missing is like that reality of a relationship.
Yeah.
Where, and then there's that, you know, there's that one couple who like, I mean, not really a spoiler alert because it's like news, but they're getting a divorce. You really see that like they did try and they went to therapy and they had these conversations of like, you know, the woman is like, you do not make me feel like you are interested in me at all. He says the same thing. They're like,
I don't
she's
even
like,
know
I
which
haven't
one you're talking about. So I'm not
the dark-haired one who has like one kid.
Okay, yeah.
And then her husband's like probably the biggest dick on the show. Like he's literally such a tool. And
was he the one who like gave Kristen like touched her nipple?
Yes, he was that one. Dude,
and that guy's unreal.
Well, the therapist is like, when was the last time you were sexually attracted to your husband? And she's like, 3 years and 9 months ago. So like when they conceived their daughter, basically. And I'm like, wow, dude, that's so honest to say on national television.
That is so honest to say. And it's crazy how, oh my God, dude, it's so weird. I've only done like one semi reality thing. I don't even know if it's ever going to come out, but, and I just remember sitting there and the cameras and like 10 people were to my left. And then like, how can I possibly give all this tea up when there's an entire crew to my left? Like, and there's a boom above my head. Like how?
Yes. Right. I feel the same, especially something that's so like, it just hits you so personally of like your sex life. Like what's more, you know what I mean? Like just speaking on your sex life and like if you're not attracted to your husband, and it's just, and then you're also calling them out by being like because she does a lot of like calling him out, being like he was not involved in her being like her raising her as a baby and like newborn, toddler, none of it. He's never changed a diaper, not once.
Oh my God, dude. I have heard okay. I have heard this. Actually, I think I was listening to a podcast or came across it where a comedian, a now comedian, he used to be a fighter. You probably know who I'm talking about, had said that he's never changed his daughter's poop diaper. And I am literally like, how? First of all, how? Second of all, how are you getting away with that?
Right.
Are you kidding me?
I want to know, like, how's that feasible? You have to almost go out of your way to not change the diaper. Like, there have been situations where you're there, Brian's there, and I'm there, and the best person to change the diaper in that moment has been me because of the way
circumstance.
You have a hand here, Brian has a hand over here doing something, and it's like, hey, can you just how is that possible? That
Dude.
There has never been an occasion where it made 10 times more sense for that he did it. You have to go out of your way to not change a diaper of your own child. That's also like crazy
that's not
to
a
me.
brag to me.
It's
that's
not.
Like
it's not
hot.
the flex. No, it's really not hot. And it's like for someone like him, and like I wish we could really say who it was, and maybe if like maybe
people
down the road we could like because people probably maybe I mean I don't know though, I highly doubt anyone listens to this podcast listening to that trash, but I think that it's funny for someone who's so obsessed with the way that they look and the way they're perceived and like being like manly. It's like there's nothing to me that's more masculine and manly than a guy who takes care of his family and gets involved in his kids. Like that is so attractive.
Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing hotter than a man who could just step up and like do that, like get his hands dirty.
Yeah.
In the rearing of the children. Like that's
I don't know. Me. Yeah, the fact that he was like on the Valley, that guy was saying that like, oh, I don't change any diapers or whatever. Ew, dude. Well, okay, have fun being single.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Like,
have fun.
I hate it.
You know, one thing that I wanted to talk about, Hunter, you told me a hilarious story yesterday, and I can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, you jogged my memory on that.
Okay. So yesterday I was we'll tell you guys the whole story. Yesterday I was fucking around doing signatures.
No, let's be so for real. Michaela Googled something, came across photos of me where Mike's signature, and my sister went, this signature could be so much better. What the fuck is she doing? I know my sister to a T. So she's like, I'm going to go ahead and dig around. I'm going to tell Hunter I digged around, and I'm going to make it better so that it's like easier for her to just do it. Cause like she needs to have the star power behind it. I'm also going to abbreviate it. Do not try. If you don't think that I don't know you, by the absolute
I don't like
hand,
that
Michaela.
You know that. I don't. That makes me uncomfortable that you know that. You
like
know me too well, bro.
And my sister was like, you're like, I'm just gonna doodle and just like tell her I've been doodling, like making a little TikTok, and then I'm gonna make it better. And you did make it better. And I literally am gonna use that as my new autograph. Okay.
Well, and the thing is I was like, I looked at it and I was like,
it's ridiculous.
Well, I think because you have to make like a conscious effort. Anyone has to make a conscious effort to like have a signature that like isn't just like your name in cursive. You know what I mean? Like you have to sit down and be like, okay, what do I want my signature to look like? Like for whatever reason.
And you're somebody childhood doing it, and yet mine is literally just my name in cursive. Sometimes it's not even my name. Okay.
and we're gonna get to that in a second. So I said this to Hunter, and I was like, yo, like literally, dude, you're 100% right. I was like, I can't allow this. Like, I can't. Her name is so cool. Like, you have an H in your name. Like, that's like one of the coolest like letters that you can fuck with when it comes to
it's the
cursive
G, dude. It's
science.
it's the G that gets me.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? We're working on it, and we're making it cool, and we're making it fun. So I send that to her, and then we're talking about signatures, and we're talking about, because you were like, can you also do like a shorter one for me?
Right.
Because you do have to sign autographs sometimes. Like if we do, especially Sports Illustrated things, like when you go to events
with photos, like literally, you guys, stacks and stacks of photos, and just be like, can you sign this? Can you sign this? Can you sign this? Can you sign this? Like,
right.
you guys can Google it. You can literally imagine you guys buy my signature of a photo of me, my really bad signature. You can literally Google it, and people sell my photo with my signature on it. Anyway, so they come up, and there's like 10 people at one time. Can you sign 3 of these? Blah, blah, blah. So you're going really fast. You're like, oh God, I'm so stressed out. Like, right?
Yeah.
First of all, I need a better signature it's gonna take me 2 seconds.
Right.
Second of all, I told Michaela a story about how one time, and I feel so bad for this person because they are printing these photos on their own. There was like 4 or 5 of these guys who were waiting. Brian was actually with me. And I had just stepped out of the car, and they were like, will you sign this for us? And then I was signing one guy's. And then the other guy over here, over my right, was like, yeah, haha, it's my birthday today. And as I'm signing it, I'm writing happy birthday on this other person's photo. Then what's worse, which I don't even think I told you, I go, oh my God. And I crossed out the happy birthday. I crossed it out and then put my name. Now, here's the thing. This guy was probably like, what the actual fuck? Like, she should have just kept it happy birthday.
Right.
And like he could have just saved it for his birthday. I crossed it out and then wrote my name. And Brian was right there with me, and he was just like, what was that? Like, what went on in your head just then?
What did go on in your head in that moment? Like,
I was just overwhelmed, dude. I can't keep it cool.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine like someone like Ariana Grande or whatever who is like, sign this, sign this, sign this. And you have to do it. And the thing is my name is so long, and I also feel like I have to sign my whole name, because then it's like, this could be anybody.
Sure, absolutely. And I get that. And that's why I think you do sign like your whole name when you do these signatures.
But it's so bad, Michaela. I've always hated my signature. So I love that you rebranded me.
I did. I gave you a little rebrand here.
Now this, like, people, anytime it happens again, they're gonna be like, this isn't the same girl. Like, because all the ones up until now.
Right. I always think about like the people who like in court, right? Or like in like lawsuits or whatever, when they have to look at people's signatures, or like murder cases, I guess is a better example, when they have to look at like somebody's signature or someone's writing to see if it matches up with evidence that they have. And I always think about that whenever I do a signature, and I'm like, that's why my signature is so consistent all the time, because I have this unbelievably crazy feling of like fear that someone's going to frame me for some kind of illegal activity.
Now they for sure are.
but what's going to get me off from jail time is they're going to see just the slightest difference in this person's signature, and they're going to compare it to all of my signatures and be like, this isn't the same person. Sorry. The way that the G flicks out, it couldn't have been her. And then I'm like, exonerated.
You could frame the hell out of me, dude, because they're all different. It's all different. Sometimes I'm not even writing my name.
Sometimes you're writing happy birthday.
Sometimes I'm writing happy birthday. I'm literally like, I was telling Michaela, for God knows, I could be writing Darren. Like, I don't fucking know. Like, I literally could just be absolutely writing another name. I don't know. Catch me in a moment where I'm not 100%. You're going to be getting a different name. Okay? So, like, I can't do that.
Just signing Cheryl Teagues.
Like, literally.
It's a weird combo.
We all have practiced our autographs since we were little, and yet never came up with a cool one. Still haven't. And now I'm just going to adopt yours.
Oh, well, I'm offended you didn't ask me in the first place. First of all, I just deeply offended by it that you wouldn't have asked me in the first place, because I love
An autograph?
You what?
Also, like, can you imagine asking someone for an autograph these days?
It would literally be so embarrassing.
No, like, actually, though, it's actually kind of crazy. Like, when you think about, I wouldn't even ask someone for a photo. Like, I'm so...
No.
I don't know, dude. I'm so embarrassed. I'm just embarrassed. No. I'm like, you don't want a photo with me. I know you don't.
Right. Well, you're embarrassing. And
I'm
so that's why
I'm embarrassed.
Yeah. I wanted to, of course, as we always do, give a little shout out to our Patreon members. Just like while we're on this topic.
Yeah.
If you
also,
guys don't know,
I was just going to say, do they know?
Do they know what?
Do they know that we're now doing 2 videos? Like, I know we mentioned it, but should we like...
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about it, dude.
Guys.
Let's absolutely talk about it. We did mention it, but like, it's for sure happening. Well, what happened was we talked about how I like strong-armed you into doing it. And then you were kind of like, yeah, but like now you're down for it. Like you're on board 100%, right?
Well, yeah. Well, yeah.
We have no choice but to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You have to be because you're half of the podcast. So
yeah.
I like forcing you into things. Okay, so we're gonna give a shout out to Miss Alexandra B.
Yeah.
Bea B.
Of course.
And Sarah Evangelista.
Oh, Evangelista.
Bro, I'm changing my name. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of having
name.
just like a plain old Jane old name.
Also,
you don't have a dumb name. You have a good name.
I have talked to thrice Michaelas in the last 3 days.
Right. That's what I mean. Like my name is so ubiquitous now. It used to be special. It's not anymore.
It is. I hate to say it. Maybe it is.
It was like, was she younger than me, do you think?
She was probably about your age.
Right. It's always my age or younger. And it's because most parents who name their kids Michaela, they come from the Dr. Quinn medicine woman era, which is why that's not why our parents named me Michaela, but that's why
Mom
a lot of
showed
other
me
parents.
Who you were named after.
I know.
And she's horrifying. I'm just
kidding.
She's
so
absolute.
She's a dog. She's a dog. Well, yeah, I don't know, dude. My name is just plain old Janel.
Do you know who Nara? Is it Nara? Nora?
Of course, I know who
Smith
Nara
and
is.
Lucky. Okay.
Yes.
First of all, love her, but like, you know, she like she makes everything from scratch, which is like so incredible. But she just named her she has a son named Slim.
Mm-hmm.
And then she named her daughter, her newest daughter, I think Whimsy,
yeah.
Which is like cute. I've not heard that yet.
I've not heard Whimsy. That's a new one for sure. What is your opinion on her as a mom? Like, and I mean not your opinion of her as a mom. What's your opinion of her whole thing, you being a mother?
Oh my God. I just wish I had that kind of energy. Honestly.
Right.
I'm like, I'm envious of that.
Right.
I'm envious of that. Like just to make your kids like from scratch and like doing all that stuff. I'm just like, oh my God.
Here's my question. Is it a bit that she's like, this morning my kids asked for Cocoa Puffs and I decided that I was going to make them. So I went outside and I cut some cocoa from my cocoa tree. Like, is that a bit? Because there's no way those kids are waiting 3.5 hours for homemade Cocoa Puffs, right?
Right? I don't know.
So here's the thing, and I need to know, is she in on it? Is she like in on this being funny, or is she being so for real?
Dude, I think she's being so for real. But like the thing is,
either way, I'm down for it.
You bring up a good point. The kids are not waiting like 3 hours for like the Cocoa Puffs to be ready.
Dude, if your kid is hungry, you think they're going to wait all day for you to hand make mozzarella?
Also, don't show my kids those videos. Like they get cereal bars every morning. Like,
bro, if Hudson asks me for cheese and I don't immediately go to the fridge in those 2 seconds he's asked me, he's pissed. No, he's literally like, pissed.
Give me cheese.
Give me the cheese stick. Like, what are you doing? Your whole job is to feed me. Right. Yeah. That's what I mean. Is like, there's no way these kids are waiting hours for food if like most kids don't even wait nary 10 seconds for some food or some snack or whatever it is.
But also, like, I think about how my kids, like, you know how kids are like, oh my God, my mom made the best this. My mom made the best that. My kids are literally going to be like, my mom fucking ordered out every night. Like that lazy ass. Like I think that like this is this generation though, unless you're just like it's ingrained in you. I think that this generation is just like, yeah, we're having mac and cheese tonight. Like
right.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It also
we're going out to dinner. We're ordering in.
But that's how we were raised a lot though.
We were raised going to dinner with our mom every night.
Yeah. And that was because, our mom worked full time. And so she was like at work like for fucking 10, 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
The last thing she wanted to do, and by the way, she did really well doing, working this, way that she did. And she always said, the last thing I want to do is have to come home, cook, and then like not see you guys.
Yeah.
And then also have dishes and be exhausted. Yeah. She was like, I would rather like spend the money to like go to a Chili's and hang out with you guys and like not have to do those dishes.
Dude, we stayed at Chili's.
Bro. We were raised on Chili's. And I don't know if you can tell when you look at us.
People are like, yeah, no shit.
No shit, bro.
You guys had Chili's every single night. Chili's and Cisco's, guys. Like, okay, what is that bean dip? Dude, wow, I miss that bean dip. What is it
called?
Queso.
It was the queso.
The queso bean dip is just like, delicious.
So good.
And Chili's at that time was so reasonable. I don't know what
it was so reasonable. And it was like, now it's very Tex-Mex, which is like fine, but that's not what it was.
Yeah.
And just the way that we were raised on chocolate lava cake.
Oh my God,
we're like, why are we plus size?
I know. We're just like, I don't understand. And then Cisco's, like we were having dos enchiladas literally Monday through Friday. Like and
it's funny because it wasn't until I started. And also we would like bring our friends too a lot. Like you would have a friend come. Some of their greatest
memories. Literally my friends still talk about it.
Because most households going out to dinner is like something you do on birthdays. Like most of the time that's how it is, or you order out or whatever. And then it took me like having and going over to my friends' houses and even having like boyfriends and talking to them and being like, oh, people don't go to restaurants like often the way that we did. Like and then we all wonder why you and I fucking hate cooking and why we're like, no, let's just order, like let's just go out, like please.
Dude,
and why if there's a single inconvenience, we're not gonna do it.
Chili's raised us. Chili's raised everything us. I know, everything I am. The very fabric of my being is because Chili's raised us.
I love those videos where it's like the baby that was made from like Taco Bell gorditas and chili fries. And it's like, because that's what the mom ate the whole time she was pregnant. Yeah. Those always make me so, it's like the baby that, I ate like burritos and Pizza Hut pizzas with.
Dude, Hudson is the baby that was a bean, rice, and cheese burrito. I swear to God, I had a bean, rice, and cheese burrito every single day for the last 6 months of that pregnancy. I mean, literally. My husband was like, he still can't look at burritos the same way because he's like, I'm so done with burritos.
That was such a time. And I was always thinking the other day, how
what?
Just the difference between the first and the second kid is so funny because like, I remember the poor Hudzy, like he was just always spitting up because no one knew how to feed him.
Dude, no one knew how to
Not you guys, but none of us really knew. Like, none of us knew how to feed a baby correctly with a bottle. Like we were just always like waterboarding him with formula.
Yeah. And then he's literally like, I have a milk allergy. And then we're just like, here, have this full milk, like this full formula. And it's just it is so funny how the second you're like, oh, I know how to do this, right? Like the first is always just.
I've never seen Ava spit up once, whereas I was covered in spit up with Hudson. Head to toe.
Covered. And we've talked about this before, how like the first child, no matter what, is going to be your trial. I was telling Kayla this, even when you're the first child and you're 6 years old, that's the first time your parents are dealing with a 6-year-old. So like you're going to be the trial girl. Like
sure.
Hudson is forever the trial. And and then after that, you're like, oh, I got this. I know this. Right. And then by the third, oh my God, if we had a third, are you kidding me? That kid would be the most well-adjusted. Like, that's why they call him the baby. Because you're like, oh my God, like they get everything. Well, no, it's just because it's all a little bit easier.
Right. It's a well-worn path that the parents have, like,
you're like, this
down.
Whole thing. And the first kid is just absolute, comes with
just fucked up mentally. twigs in hair. Yeah. Like a couple extra broken limbs because like just maybe parents were looking away a little too long and learned a lot of lessons.
Oh my God. Completely. You're right though. Ava hardly ever spits up.
Like literally never, because I was just thinking, I was like, God, it's like, well, because we're visiting Martin's family this weekend. And so we're going to see our nephews there. And one of them is turning 1. And I was like, oh, like there's just something so special about like that 1-year-old like baby time.
Yeah.
And I was like, it just got me thinking about when Hudsie was little. And I was like, gosh, I have so many memories of Huds when he was like a baby, like spitting up.
Dude, he was like spit up a lot.
Y'all figured it out like fast. It's not like he was like spitting up for years and you guys were like, maybe we should get this checked out. It was like, eventually you guys were kind of like, okay, there's like something here. But like just, it's weird to think about the smell of spit up.
Dad would go through shirts when he would come visit. Like he would go through air. Every like 5 minutes, he'd be like, oh my God, babe, can you get me another shirt? Like he just
because he would forget that you have to like hold the baby kind of up in the bottle a certain way.
Well, that's the thing, dude. I swear to God, parents forget. Here's the thing. Parents who become grandparents, they straight up forget. Like they'll feed the baby and then all of a sudden like be throwing that motherfucker in the air. And you're just like, okay, well, I wouldn't do that if I was an adult, let alone a baby who doesn't have the full stomach muscles yet. But okay. Like,
right. No, it's so true. He'd be like feeding him and then he'd like lift him up ahead and we'd just be waiting. We'd be like, here it comes. Like waterfall on your face.
Oh my God.
I don't know, dude. That it just, God to save all of us firstborns is all I have to say.
God bless you all. God bless America, honestly.
Well,
are you voting for Trump? No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, I don't know.
I was reading this thing and I wanted to put it out there for the world. Okay. It says, I just read something about replacing I'm sorry with thank you. So instead of saying like, sorry I was late, say, thank you for waiting for me.
Oh, and yes. I love really these. Great. I love these. Yeah. And like, thank you so much for your time, and or like, thank you for reminding me or something, or thank you for letting me know, like instead of like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I think that, God, why do women say I'm sorry so much? I'm so sick of saying sorry, dude. I'm never saying it again.
Dude, I say sorry. Oh, God. I'll say sorry for something that is absolutely not my fault. I'll be like, oh, man, I'm so sorry that like, that you spilled that coffee on me. I was in the way.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like,
so
it's
sorry.
me. It's my fault.
Yeah.
I think that, I mean, I've never heard a man say sorry, but I also read something recently that said that men should be born in prison and earn their way out. And that to me,
but then that made me little Hudson giggle. In prison.
I know. And that's the thing, dude. I just want to say the male gender owes you and owes Hudson a big thank you, because it is the only thing that keeps me off the ropes. Okay. with men in general. Okay. Hudson is the one thing keeping me gloves on in this world, because everything I think about men, I think about Huds, and I'm just like, okay, fine, never mind,
Right.
And I'm just like
the absolute exception.
He's the exception to every rule for us.
I know, dude.
And that's the benefit though of being the first nephew, the first grandson, the first all those things.
Yeah.
Right. Like you were the one that just grew this whole Grinch heart twice the size.
Dude,
you just
grew
really
the Grinch did.
You made me like men. How dare you?
How
dare you?
Dare.
But I think a good portion of the male population though could definitely stand to start off behind bars and just earn their way out. Earn their keep and earn their way out. Just little
baby boys behind bars. They're just like,
okay, not them.
No, I'm just.
But like little Andrew Tates. Like imagine little Andrew Tates behind bars and just like, but they don't stay there. If they're great, then they come out and you get to be part of the world.
Yeah.
And then we get to keep the Andrew Tates behind bars.
Yay, you get to be part of the world. Congratulations. They're 35.
Yeah. Right. That's my America that I hope for, that I hope and pray for. Well, you guys, we love y'all so much. If you are not subscribed to the Patreon, make sure that you do. $5 a month. We're doing 2 extra Patreon videos a month.
Plus, we're doing full videos, like early video videos.
Full HD video. If you have not checked that out. every episode, you guys. We were just doing it for Patreon. Now we're doing it for every single episode. You get to see our mugs. Yeah, I'm honestly feeling like I want to get litigious.
Actually,
a little bit.
Straight up, you guys are scamming us.
We're being scammed, and that's fine. But definitely make sure that you are subscribed. And we're going to have a lot of behind the scenes coming out pretty soon. Some like very cool things are going on. So we're going to have those exclusively on Patreon. And we love you guys. And we will talk to y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you guys so much for listening. You can catch a new episode of Model Citizen every Thursday. And please don't forget to follow the podcast so you don't miss any of the action. We want to hear from you, so please leave a rating and review and follow us on socials for all the behind-the-scenes action at Hunter McGrady and Michaela McGrady. And don't forget, you are worthy, you are loved, and you are capable of doing all wonderful things. Bye, guys.